Okay, so it is 6:03. But before we start, I wanted to take a moment of silence for what happened this morning in Versailles. As students, we're here for education, but education means more than just getting our degree and our classes. Part of that is community. So this moment of silence, I want to remember that, as well as remember what happened this morning. Okay. On that note, I will call this meeting order at 6:04 p.m. on Wednesday, November 4th. We will start with roll call. Thank you. President Toronto is excused late. Acting Executive Vice President, myself, is here, Ramirez. Vice President of Campus Internal Affairs, here. Vice President of External Affairs is excused late. He should be coming in fairly soon. Vice President of Finance, Shafi Karim, is unexcused. Marketing and Promotion Director. Personnel Director. Unexcused. Outreach Director. President Pro Tempore. Senator Alan Alcantara.
Here.
Senator Casey Thielhart.
Here.
Senator Delshama Wilson.
Present.
Senator Des Jackson.
Present.
Senator Giselle Zuna.
Here.
Senator Joshua Lopez.
Here.
Senator Christina David. Unexcused late. Or unexcused. Senator Nick Correa.
Present.
Senator Verna Chan.
Present.
Senator Catherine Tately.
Present.
Senator Melissa Vargas.
Present.
Senator Nevin Barrera.
Present.
Senator Win-Yu Chow.
Present.
Senator Aaron Sanga, I believe, will be late. Excused. Senator Ryan Torrento.
Here.
On that note, we have quorum. Moving on to approval of the agenda. Is there any motions to approve the agenda or to adjust the agenda as presented? Yes, Senator.
I move to approve the agenda.
There's a motion to approve the agenda as presented. There's a second to this motion. Unless any oppositions or objections, we will approve the agenda as presented. Seeing none, we will move forward to approval of the Senate meeting minutes, number 5. The Senate Secretary will be handing out the copy. It will go around as per custom, make any adjustments to the minutes that you see fit, and sign it on the back, and we will adopt it unanimously. Moving on to the ex officio list. Anyone ex officios at this table would like to speak, as well as if there are any ex officios, sorry, if you wish to grab yours. But please.
Hello, I'm sure you know me by now, Jonathan, the ex-officio for the LGBT Resource Center. Just a quick update on the Tangerine Tour screening I mentioned last week. The Q&A by the director and one of the main actresses has been canceled, but the film screening is still going on at the Culver Center of the Arts in downtown Riverside. It is completely free to anyone, student, non-student, so bring a friend if you want. And yeah.
Thank you. Real quick, before you leave, sorry. Are there any questions or comments for the ex officio member? Okay, Sina, thank you so much for your time. Again, for the ex officio list, if you want to leave your name on the agenda request list, we'll make sure to send you a copy of the agenda and the documents every week. Just on the side. But any other members of the ex officio wish to report at this time?
Hi y'all, here for indoctrination program, so you'll see me and Scarlett kind of switch off. We really don't have much going on other than Boved's upcoming conference this Saturday for undocumented high school students and community college students. So we promote higher education amongst undocumented students, and we're really excited to say that we have 150 folks, students from high schools, community colleges, parents, counselors, and teachers registered so far, and they're still coming in, which is bad because it's like 3 days before. But we're pretty excited. That's a Saturday. Tomorrow we have our next talking circle for undocumented students. Allies are welcome to join us from 12 to 2, I believe in Hub 269. There will be food, substation, that's always nice, free food. And then next weekend, I believe, is our legal intake. So undocumented students have access to free legal services. So that's next Saturday. If students wish to sign up for it, they look out for an email or come to undocumented student programs, and we can set up an appointment for you with a lawyer.
Thank you so much. Will you please again, of course, sign your name and contact info. Any questions for the ex officio member? Any comments? Seeing none, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Good luck in the program.
Hi everyone. I hope you all know me by now. My name is Chelsea. I'm from RHA. Just a quick update. So this Monday we had our first ever quad collaboration. It's something new we tried this year to unite all 4 communities in RHA. And it was a great success. We had great attendance, and there was a lot of exchange of ideas that we usually don't have from all 4 communities all together. So we really enjoyed that. Tonight, Lothian RHA is having a program called Our Community East Meets West. There's a gap between East Lothian and West Lothian, and this program aims to bridge the gap between them and also promote Schools Pride. We'll be raffling off our gear, and there'll be a lot of games and free food if you all want to stop by. You all are more than welcome to attend as well. Tomorrow, AIRHA has a program called Pumpkin Party, and it's a lot of fun. They'll be having make your own air fresheners, and they'll have a lot of games, and there'll also be a raffle. So that's going on, and we also are preparing for our conference that I talked about a couple of times to occur, and that is going to be next Saturday, so next weekend, 13th to 15th, so we're looking forward to that as well. That's it.
Cool. Thank you so much, Chelsea. Any questions or comments for the ex officio member? Okay, seeing none. Thank you again so much for your time. Any other members of the ex officios who wish to speak at this time? Okay, seeing none. Moving on to public forum. This part of the agenda is reserved for members of the gallery who wish to address this board on any matter whatsoever, to bring forward folk issues and issues of the community. Anyone in the gallery wish to address this board at this time? Okay, seeing none. Before we move on to, well, last call for public forum, before we move on to Senate reports, traditionally in the agenda, there's also a spot right after public forum before Senate reports reserved for committee chairs. I just wanted to extend the opportunity for any committee chairs or next week or the meetings after that they wish to speak at this meeting. There will be a spot on the agenda for them. Moving on to Senate reports.
So yeah, thank you all for that. Also included in my Senate report, I've sent out my idea for this Embracing Our Cultural Leadership Conference that I would plan to implement this year as a senator to every member on the Diversity Council. I hope to discuss a vision for this project the next time that we all convene. Myself, Executive Vice President Morris, VP Michael Irvin, Senator Willis, and Senator Chow also met with the intern Vice Provost office to discuss problem areas on this campus that we hope to collaborate and collaborate together and address those issues or problem areas. And lastly, I've reached out to my former professor, Business 106, which is a finance course, to collaborate with him in an effort to create a financial literacy workshop for UCR students. I personally think financial literacy is something that all students should develop, despite his or her respective major. If he doesn't reply, I will pursue this project via my internship with Foresters Financial. So that concludes my report for the week.
Thank you. Senator?
So over the past, since the last report, I've looked into the organization known as Fruit, and just a little bit of summary on them. They are an organization that makes it a little easier to contact tutors. They're kind of the Uber of tutoring, allowing you to see which tutors are available for a certain time for whatever subject it is, and for you to set an appointment with them and basically meet up and have a tutoring session. In that regards, I contacted someone with the organization and found out a little more about it. And in terms of that, there is availability in terms of tutoring. There would be students over here at our school that would sign up for it and tutor other students here at the school. The charge for the service in the app itself is $9,000 plus 50 cents. However, for UCR, they are offering a 6-month free risk-free trial, which could potentially be beneficial in that sense. And so I went to go talk to the Academic Research Center, the interim coordinator of the TAP program, which is the tutorial assistance program over here. And although she agreed with the idea of being able to have tutors kind of more of an on-demand basis, there are potential problems as the students would need to be employed with the school, as this app doesn't look for, it'll look for affiliation with the school. And so with the students being affiliated with the school, there's problems with the insurance, how they meet other students and whatnot. So there are complications in that sense. Let's see what else here. However, she did like the idea of on-demand tutoring. And in my own opinion of the program, I think it might be a little bit costly. And it does come with a new administrative overview that they collect statistics for us. They see the improvement, they see whether if it is worth it or not and how well our students are doing and if it is helping our school out. However, our Academic Research Center also has forms of statistics collection in that sense. So I don't believe moving forward past the 6-month free period, if it is substantially worth it unless we do the 6-month free period and see if it is a huge boost towards our students' grades and to the general well-being, ease of access of education. So that concludes my report, except for one other thing. I'm actually going to be looking into possible other organizations that look for less affiliation with the school, allowing for students to just become tutors without private tutors, which allows students to just contact them individually without having to worry about the school insurance budget in or anything of that sort. So that concludes my report. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. So over the last 2 weeks, I've helped out Michael Irvin with the setting up for the first distribution, well, the preview distribution for our pantry. Want to congratulate Michael. That was a pretty big success this week. I've also signed on with Josh and Alan Alcantara to bring back the Chat's newsletter. I predict Josh will have more to report about that in his report. And then I don't really have much to report about this on this week, but I predict to in the future. I've discussed this with Senator Kat Hatley and Taylor. It kind of, I believe it's like a 411 number. The city of Los Angeles, they have a program where like there's potholes, and you see the pothole, you take a picture of it, you send it in with like the address, and it would get repaired by the city. My hope is to develop a system like that here at UCR for disrepair in our classrooms. I'm currently preparing a proposal on that, and I plan to bring it to physical plant, and I plan to draft that up tomorrow and present it to Taylor, and we will be taking that hopefully next week. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have a question or comment?
Yeah.
please?
So I looked into this a little bit last year for water, and physical plant already currently has a system. It's not for classroom disrepair necessarily, but they already have a system for like a work order form basically. It's not very well publicized and it's not the most efficient, so that might be something you want to look into, is seeing how you can integrate that. Because we talked about doing it either through a text or something for getting sprinklers fixed. So I would say, yeah, look at physical plant, because they already have some mechanism set up.
Yes, please.
The issue I really feel with like a work order is a student really has to feel extremely strongly about that. And really, it's a very committed thing to do. When you're filling out a work order, you're gonna have to remember where it was. You're gonna have to go home, go online, and fill out the work order. My vision for this is really just you see it, you take a picture, and you paste it in, and you give the location. A very quick, very non-committal, and very modern system of doing it instead of kind of archaic filling out a form.
Yeah, just the work order goes to them. All you do for that is you just fill out where the thing is and then what's wrong, and then they fill it out. But yeah, I see what you're saying. I would just say if you can find a way to like maybe incorporate that, and you can do the same thing, picture, updating their system maybe, to incorporate it.
Thank you. Comments will taken. Senator.
Okay, I'm sorry for the lag of the college budgeting workshop, but we just wanted to get everything set up. So it actually will be this Monday at the barricade in Pentland from 7:30 to 8:30. It will be me and a few other people from the finance committee. Also, I have taken over the Instagram for ASUCR and Twitter as well. So if y'all want to send me any pictures, I will open up to the student body as well. Like I'll have like a picture of the week for the students to see, you know, if y'all have like anything cool or like anything that you want to publicize or anything like that, just let me know. My email is on the ACCR website, so you can check there or you can just talk to me after. And also I've been in discussions with several people that I do want to create like a food festival from Riverside businesses in particular, just to have like Riverside, the city, and UCR assimilate more. So we have that like that tension worn off and stuff, because I have seen it personally working off campus. So I have been in this discussion with a few people to see if that's possible for the spring quarter. So I'll probably talk to people that work with the city, like the mayor's office and stuff. So yeah, that's what I want to do for like this year as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
I emailed the dean's assistant because he told me that I had to go through her and said that she has not gotten back to me about meeting up with the dean. So I'm working on that still. I'm continuing to work with Senator Melissa Vargas on the Art Closet Committee. I did meet with our EVP and he's going to assist me with the BCOE tool shed and along with other smaller projects and who to contact along with that. And that concludes my report.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. So the Diversity Council met the first time a couple weeks ago. I'm really excited for that. We elected our chair, Alana Angerin from KPSP, and we plan to meet as soon as possible. We're still waiting on a few people to respond to, give us their most appropriate time that we can have it. And we're really excited to work on some projects and make the school more diverse and just celebrate diversity. As far as my Our Stars Open Mic Night project, I've been in conversation with the Starbucks manager about logistics and equipment and what we would need. Right now, we're looking at the outdoor location that's next to the Starbucks, and depending on the weather, maybe we can use that space. And we're meeting in person next week with the catering director and the director of retail dining to discuss risk management. And we're looking at a solid date beginning winter quarter, so look out for that. That should be fun. I've been placed on a search committee for a new Associate Vice Chancellor of Diversity and Inclusion, along with Senator Josh. This new position would be a consultant to provide the best quality campus leadership and to recruit or retain diverse faculty, and they needed a student voice, so happy to be there with Josh. The Advisory Council of Campus Arts has not met yet due to scheduling conflicts, but this Friday I will be going to Bannockburn with Vice President of Campus Internal Affairs, Michael Irvin, to not only discuss how the food truck festival went, but also to discuss campus art with the man in charge over there. And that should be really exciting. And other than that, Senator Christina David and I have been in close contact with the Arts and Expression org cluster, and we are happy to be their liaison to our office. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you.
Okay, hi everybody. I'll be reporting on our closet committee. So our marketing for the donation drive will begin next Monday. We're just waiting for confirmations on a couple locations for the residence halls, but we will be for sure be having a box outside of the Bears Den and near the bell tower. So thanks, and also thanks to Verna Chan and Kat Chang for working on the flyer. It looks amazing. So that will be going out next Monday. We also sent out an email to UCR faculty and staff for donations of business clothes during week 8, which will be the donation drive. The days for the donation drive will be the 17th, the 18th, and the 19th of week 8 of November, and the hours will be from 12 to 3 p.m. We are still confirming a laundry day with the SRC for November 20th to wash all of the clothes that we received at the Undie Run last spring and the clothes that we will be receiving this year. Catherine Tatley went to the Finance Committee meeting this past Monday, and we were allocated $130 to buy racks. So we found some online, but we're still searching for a better price. And since we won't be needing them until the 20th. Also, we are going to be donated the old shelves from our pantry, so we're pretty excited about that. So thank you to the VP of Campus Internal Affairs for that. And also, 2 of our committee members have been going to stores such as Marshall's and Ross, and they've been asking for hanger donations, and we have received 2 full boxes of them, so they're in storage. And they're not here, but thank you to Erin Lintag and Melanie Kim for going out and talking to stores. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Senator.
Hi everyone. So today we had a meeting for the teach-in tomorrow at 3 p.m. That will be giving some of the information about the Million Student March and also giving some context into how it fits into Fund the UC. That will be tomorrow. As Senator Thielhart mentioned, we also had the food pantry soft opening yesterday, and that went really well. So thank you to everyone that came out. I hope everyone who is in need got help, and thank you to everyone who volunteered and all of that. Our year, the committee met, so we sort of started discussing what we plan on doing, how we're going to do the rollout, and just getting the logistics for that done. So that will be sometime this quarter. We're still getting everything figured out. But yeah, we're just planning out how we want the event to go and volunteers and all of that. And then last for me, as Dalshan mentioned, I met with the intern for the vice provost, along with some other senators. Senator Chow was there, as well as Vice President Val Morez and CIA Michael Irvin. So we discussed some of the problem areas on campus and sort of ways to address them. And beyond problem areas, also just ways that we can improve campus. So sort of areas where we need more, maybe,
Beautification.
Yeah, thank you. Areas where we need better beautification, or we're trying to make campus more bike friendly and that type of thing. So we met with them in that, and just for all of you senators as well as the galley, in the provost office, there's a map that has the plan, the current plan for 2025, I believe, for the master plan for the campus. So if you wanted to see more about what they are planning on doing, or if you had any suggestions, that's in the Bryce Provost office, which is the 3rd floor of Henry Raker. So you can go in there and see that, see what they're doing, and give any suggestions that you may have. And that
Just to add on to
Yes, please.
It's Henry Raker 3108. It's open to all students. 2025 plan for the university. So.
Any other comments or questions for the senator? Seeing none. Senator.
Hello everyone. So to start off with, the Religion Studies Undergraduate Club sent out our application for and hope to receive feedback from them in regards to getting funding. I also finalized their space this quarter so that we can have the meetings in INTN 2043 at 5 p.m. every Friday. We're also offering the $100 prize winners for people who decide to make a shared club. I'm going to see I started providing them the contact information for their funding. I'm a member of the Eastern Student Association. Hopes to get other people out to the LCN convention, which is focused on networking and doing workshops there. So he hopes I'm getting funding for that soon. For the IFC meeting, they have the PB&PG, which is on November 18th and November 21st at the Hub. They plan on doing that to make sandwiches and give them to the homeless. Oh, and also for IFC, we have the December 1st, they're having the first basketball game they're doing on the tailgate, which is going to be one of the first ones on campus in a while. And so they're doing build a mascot for Riverside. So usually we do it for the bonfire. We make a statue basically of the person that we're competing against and inviting. So they need volunteers to come out and help make the mascot. It's going to be next Tuesday at 10 a.m. And they're going to make hopefully a Facebook event page. And yeah, that concludes my report.
Thank you. Senator?
Okay. So as for my small projects, the teleconferencing device that I was looking at the beginning of this quarter has not yet been approved because I haven't had a slot open for the Finance Committee, which I will see them as soon as possible. As for my committees, our closet and the ASUCR Sexual Harassment and Sexual Violence Prevention Committee have both met. SHAC, Student Housing, the student housing committee has not met yet, and that will happen during winter. So for the ASUC Sexual Harassment and Sexual Violence Committee, what I'm doing in that is I'm looking to partner. My specific part is to look to partner with other groups on campus, like the Women's Resource Center, and I'm actually focusing on the fraternities and the sororities on campus. So I actually have a meeting with Carly Garcia on Thursday, so that'll be fun. And then for our closet, Melissa gave you a pretty detailed report on that. And then just look out for more initiatives, because there are definitely some on the way that I would love to talk to you about next meeting.
Thank you. Are there any questions for the senator? Thank you for being asked. Seeing none. Senator David?
Hello. So for the past 2 weeks, I've been trying to help out with like little random things that other people are doing, whether it be ECAP or other senators. Just trying to keep myself busy and make myself useful in the horseshoe. As for our closet, I had meetings with housing to figure out more locations. I have to get it the departmental approval first, so that's going to be completed tomorrow. Also, I don't know if Melissa mentioned this, but we're collecting hangers. Oh, she did, but are we taking hangers from other people too? Well, the more donations, you know, the better. And also, as Nick said, we're working together to get more involved with our organizations. Tomorrow is actually performing with Rhythm and Brains at 6 p.m. So I'll be attending there right before my class. And then I was in conversation with VP Valmores about a bylaw initiative sort of thing, where it's not an official committee, but we're working on it to edit the bylaws. And that concludes my report.
Any questions or comments for the senator? Seeing none. Senator Chen?
Hello. Okay, so as Melissa mentioned earlier, I sit on our closet as the outreach director, and I've been working with Kat Chang in marketing to work on the flyer. Like Senator David and Senator Vargas mentioned, and Senator Talley, we're still working on securing the additional locations in the residence halls, and hopefully we'll get that on the flyer before we get them printed. We're gonna start marketing in week 7. That's a little past what we expected, but just for the sake of all the flyers, or for all the locations to be listed on the flyers, we're gonna wait until next week to start. And I want to give a thank you to Or Class in Fashion, which has helped donate a giant box and a bag of clothing to our closet through one of their own swap meet events that they had last week. So that was really nice of them. I'm also working on a project called the Polish Man Project, which was brought forth by a student named John Tanous. The Polish Man Project works towards ending violence against children by raising funds and awareness to support the 1 in 5 children who suffer physical and sexual violence before the age of 18. And we're hoping to hold an event in spring quarter with the help of Ask on sexual harassment and sexual violence prevention. So looking forward to that. That's all.
Thank you. Any questions or comments for the senator? Seeing none.
Good evening, everyone. So for my project, the first one is a chastity massage that we're working on, and we're either going to be meeting tomorrow or on Tuesday with the dean, and then also we're also going to be looking over template design, the actual newsletter itself, how it's going to look like, what we're going to have on it, and like the content that we're going to try to put on this newsletter. So Casey and I are now going to be working on that. But also we want to talk to marketing, Kat Chang, see if we can put like ASUCR stuff on it as well, so it can be a more joint event as well. So it can also not only inform chast individuals, but also have ASUCR stuff on there to inform them as well. And then for our second project, it was a drug driving initiative campaign. I talked to IFC's President Wade Harris, and we set a deadline to have an event, one sole event on week 5 of the winter quarter. We're going to be utilizing the hub 3rd floor in one of the conference rooms, and we want this event to have a big turnout. Wade's going to mandate it, so the percentage of every single fraternity member has to be there, as well as for sororities, and as well as opening it all to the entire campus in general. that way everyone can attend. So we want to have, a panel of speakers there, food, events, and just a way to bring awareness of the dangers of drunk driving and to promote safer campus and party culture environment. So we'll be working on that, and that's about it.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments for the Senator? Seeing none, Senator Jackson.
Okay, so for the Externals Committee, we finalized the list for the Student of Color Conference and we're set to leave campus on Friday at 11 a.m. Also for the WABI conference application, they were sent out today and they are due on Monday, the 9th by 5 p.m. The Million Student March will be held on November 12th, and as Corey mentioned earlier, there will be teach-ins that are going to be on Monday at 2 p.m., Tuesday at 3 p.m., and then Wednesday within the dorms. And then for the Our Leaders Committees, the date has been finalized, and the speakers, we've sent out our requests for the speakers that we'd like to have come into this, and we're just waiting back on responses for about 2 of them. And then we've started working on the different ideas that we want to be held within our workshops, and the theme has been finalized as well too. And that completes my academic reports.
Thank you. Senator.
Okay, hello everyone. So first of all, as you all know, our year is approaching again, and I've had the privilege to be on the ARCR committee as I took part of the initiative last year. So basically what we've done is we met up with the committee, we sort of went over how the event looked like last year and how we can improve from that and also learn from that as well. Moving on from there, we also met up with SRC Rick, who is the event coordinator, and we basically talked over logistics on how to improve the event, make sure it's efficient, and make sure that students are going in, going out, and make it a lot faster. Another thing that I've done this past 2 weeks was I've met up with the intern of the Provost Vice Chancellor, with Dalshan, Senator Boson, with Senator Willis, as well as our BCIA, Michael Irvin, and our EDP Taylor. And we basically just discussed ways that we can improve the campus, as previously mentioned. And one way that I also brought up was increasing lights for areas that are near residential halls for first years. As a first year, I thought that was something that was necessary. So that's something that we wanted to work on, as well as different initiatives that were brought up to the attention. Another thing that I have been working on is the Mayor's College Forum. The Mayor's College Forum, we will be meeting tomorrow at the Senate Chambers here at 5:30 p.m. We are meeting with Riverside City College, with La Sierra University, Cal Baptist University, and of course UCR. We will all be discussing different reports, different projects, different initiatives that we've been working on as our own college and university, as well as discussing and planning the Amazing College Race. The Amazing College Race is sort of a mimic of the actual Amazing Race, but we will be holding it within downtown Riverside, and that's something that we are very excited for. It will be during April, so create connections between all the different universities and colleges and make sure that it's a lot more interactive. Not only that, we will be planning a career workshop that I will bring more information about. So the career workshop will be actually held at City Hall in downtown Riverside, and we want to bring a lot of different students to downtown Riverside and sort of showcase the different attractions that they have there and really promote the downtown city of Riverside, because it is a beautiful place. It has a lot of different restaurants, a lot of different museums and places that you can attend. Not only that, I've been working with the Chancellor's external office with Angel Rodriguez to discuss about different workshops that we can hold to help students lobby for government officials. And finally, today we had a health center. We met up with the VCSA, which is the Vice Chancellor Student of Affairs team, and we basically discussed more things regarding the health center. Now, one important thing that we received notice on was that there will be an external review on the...
The motion spend time by 2 minutes. Is there a second? Unless there are any objections, we'll spend time by 2 minutes.
Thank you. So basically, we received notice that there will be an external review of the health center. So basically, the important key factors that we'll be reviewing is health insurance, which is the health insurance that we are all paying for currently. The internal operation with the administration, that's something that they will be focusing on. And the most important thing that they will be focusing on is information and input from the students directly. And that's something that we really want to advocate for. Student health is extremely important. It's a #1 priority when it comes
comes to students, not many people utilize the resources or know about the different resources offered, and that's something that needs to be brought to the attention of students. So definitely, if you are interested, there are multiple members of the Horseshoe that know a lot about the Student Health Center. There's a Student Health Center, a Counseling Center, as well as the Well that can provide more information about the different resources offered, as well as an insurance director that is at the Student Services Building that can provide more information about the student insurance that you all pay towards to unless you waived out of it. Not only that, we will be also just creating surveys to ask students more about different premiums that they would want with their health insurance, meaning different resources and different resources that they would like to see that can be offered to students that can be part of the insurance plan, and trying to find a balance between the cost of the insurance plan while maintaining the resources that are offered. So that's something that we really want to work on. Other than that, there is a lot of new
30 seconds.
There's a lot of new things that will come upon the health center, as well as a new facility that they are currently working on, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments for the senator? Yes, next petition member.
Where would you like to put lights in the residence halls? I'm asking because RG does stuff like that, and we put in the solar proposals to get that done.
So for me, the first year, I had a lot of meetings at night, and walking up the AI, because I lived in AI, walking up the AI hill was extremely scary for me, and I would oftentimes have to ask someone from the residential hall to walk with me. And so definitely that's a place. I know Pentland, that hill as well, if there were more lights there, that would be beneficial as well. But that's the only two spots that I can think of right now. But definitely, if you ask around within the first years that live in the residential halls, they'll probably provide you with more information as well.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments for the senator?
I'd recommend putting out a survey to the freshmen, asking them what places they prefer lights.
Next time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries. Senator.
It's fine.
Cool. Any other comments for the senator? Seeing none, this is a pretty comprehensive issue that we're taking, and we are trying to get student input. So if anyone in the gallery or exhibition members wish to get more involved, please contact the senator. I believe her information is public info. Moving on to, before we move on to the next item on the agenda, I'd like to remind the senators that to please turn in their Senate reports to the Senate Secretary right here. And other than that, we'll move on to the LRC. Thank you. We'll bring it up onto the agenda. As the item says, the Senate shall discuss and possibly take action on the resolution to divest from all companies operating from incarceration.
All right, so while they're getting that up, I'm just gonna go ahead and start. So let's talk about prisons, 'cause they're awful. So a lot of the rationale behind this resolution will be elucidated in the whereases and will be sort of gone into with numbers and that type of thing. But just to give a bit of previous information on why this is important. So on a micro scale, investing in certain things, we all are complicit in being a part of putting our money towards companies that maybe don't have the most sound business practices. You can't really avoid that, but something our VPCIA said that I really like is that as a society, we ought to aim to be better than that. And so as a university especially, I don't think that we should be investing any of our money in, well, there's a lot of things we definitely should not be investing our money in, but especially not in prisons and in the private prison industry for what I think are very obvious reasons, but again, that will be brought up here. So just talking a little bit about divestment in general, we know that it works. The marquee example, especially of the UC, is apartheid in South Africa. So a lot of UCs, there was a big movement during that era to divest from companies that were profiting from apartheid in South Africa, and it worked. Even currently, the BDS movement has put a lot of pressure on a lot of different companies to sort of change their business practices when it comes to dealing with Israel specifically. And I think especially for prisons, this is they have a lot of powerful lobbies, and again, a lot of this will be explained in here. But for you poli-sci people, you know, follow the money, and taking out money, besides being symbolic, actually does have the ability to impact shareholders and does impact their business practices. So if we can remove money and if we can actually get that money to be shifted, it can take us a long way in terms of reforming, getting rid of the prison industry. So that's just a little bit. I'll go ahead and read through the resolution. Oh, can you make it bigger? Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and read through it. It is a bit lengthy, so please bear with me. So the first part, much of the text is drawn from previous past AS resolutions at sister campuses, and those documents are cited as such. I actually didn't get a chance to cite them, but I will, if this should pass, I will make sure to have all the proper citations added. This resolution is written to reflect the solidarity and purpose and spirit that all UC campuses. Oh, thank you, perfect. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So it's up there. And purpose that all UC campuses should share in divesting from prisons with the ultimate goal of abolishing prisons as the last vestige of slavery in the United States. So this was, a lot of this, as I mentioned, was drawn from some of the language of previous resolutions, including Berkeley, San Diego, Santa Barbara, I believe Davis passed one as well. And there are yellows, places are either places that we added new text or just put in new information. So without further ado, I'm just gonna go ahead and read through this. So, whereas the 13th Amendment abolished slavery and involuntary servitude, except as punishment for crime, whereas the 13th Amendment's intent was not solely to grant African Americans human rights, but was more so intended to assert how the U.S. would move forward economically, whereas inherent within the 13th Amendment is state-sanctioned use of prison labor as a bridge between slavery and paid work, whereas this stipulation of the 13th Amendment provided and provides the intellectual mechanisms and legal apparatus that enable and continues to empower the state to use unfree labor by leasing prisoners to local businesses and corporations. Sorry, I thought I had actually changed that. I'm going to motion to do it later. Whereas through the prison system, semblances of slavery that inequitably target black men have persisted and continue to persist. Whereas in 1871, the Virginia Supreme Court declared that prisoners were, quote, slaves of the state. Also, I'm going to stop reading the whereases because it's annoying and just read the text if that's all right with you all. More black men are under correctional control today than were enslaved in 1850. African Americans make up approximately 12 to 13% of the national population, yet African American males comprise nearly 60% of male inmates within our nation. Okay, I see this issue. So there's actually a more updated version. This is not the version that got passed through OSC, I don't believe.
I was going to say that because when I sent it to you, I highlighted the stuff that I should be highlighted.
Yeah.
Okay. This was the version that was sent to this office, was the one that was sent out to the Senate.
Okay.
Can I ask how extensive are the changes or revisions that you want to make during LRC?
Actually, they were just some of the minor things. So there's some words that were changed, and
is it mostly like grammatical or some of it's subject content?
Some of it does slightly change the content.
In the email you sent out, there was a big form that was like with all of the officer reports, but there's also a side one that I'm showing right here. It's called Resolution to Divest from Private Prison Corporation. Is that separate document the one that's updated?
Yeah, I think it is. As I mentioned, we actually added this to that. I'm pretty sure it was to this.
Okay, so this is a new one. The correction you're seeking, is it up there?
Yeah, it was actually a number. That's what I was seeking.
Oh, okay. So is this the right one? The one that I'm showing right now? That changed file?
No.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know what happened. We can go through and deal with the changes and stuff later, I guess. But for the sake of time, we'll move forward, and if anything, we can just get through the whereas now and then table this to make sure it's as correct as possible. Okay.
No, you're good.
Okay, so whereas, moving on, black Americans make up 12 to 13% of the population and 14% of drug users, but make up 56% of incarcerations pertaining to drug-related crimes. Black women are the fastest growing segment of the juvenile justice population and the criminal justice system. The US has the highest number of people in prison out of every country in the world. We have about 25% of the world's prison population, but only 5% of the overall population. Prisons have been historically and continue to be used as ways of addressing social and political issues. The school-to-prison pipeline prevents people of color from having access to higher education by diverting them into the correctional system. Since 1991, the rate of violent crime in the US has fallen by about 20%, while the number of people in prison or jail has risen by 50. In the state of California, the prison population is disproportionately racialized. Nearly 1 million prisoners are currently manufacturing office furniture, working in call centers, taking hotel reservations, manufacturing textiles, shoes, clothing, and other products, while getting paid somewhere between 93 cents and $4.73 per day. The maximum hourly wage for Unicor, the private prison industries, is $1.15. $204 million a day is spent on incarceration and detention, $142,000 per minute, and $2,360 per second. Whereas the prison industrial complex has become a $70 billion industry in the last few decades.
30 seconds.
Motion to extend time by 10 minutes.
There's a motion, there's a second, just extend time by 10 minutes. Unless there are any objections, we'll extend time by 10 minutes. Seeing none.
Whereas privately operated federal facilities have grown 600% faster than state-level contract facilities since 2010, and now represent the single most quickly growing correction cities and communities of color. Companies that operate private prisons, such as CCA, the GEO Group, and Management and Training Corp, have spent at least $45 million combined on campaign donations and lobbyists at the state and federal level in the last decade. The University of California currently holds investments in the Russell 3000 Index and Standard & Poor's 500 Index, which include holdings in the following companies that exploit prison labor for financial gain or are otherwise funders of the lobbying group American Legislative Exchange Council, which is one of the primary lobbies for private prisons. I'm not going to read through the corporations, but you can see a list of them there. Whereas investing in these aforementioned companies also makes the UC system complicit in the perpetuation of the aforementioned form of modern-day slavery. Whereas the associated students of the University of California, Berkeley, the AS at San Diego, USAC, and the Associated Student Senates at Santa Barbara have already passed similar resolutions. Therefore, let it be resolved, the ASUCR perceive the prison state that exists within the United States of America today as a modern form of slavery through which the echoes of slavery per se reverberate. Therefore, be it resolved, the UC Riverside Foundation and the UC Regents divest all investments, contracts, and businesses from all aforementioned companies as a protest to the establishments that comprise the PIC. Let it be further resolved that the proposed alternatives to the ASUCR's current relationship with companies profiting from the prison industrial complex suggest finance institutions that, number one, do not benefit or profit from the prison industrial complex, utilize fair trade and labor practices, support non-discriminatory hiring practices, provide employees with equitable benefits and wages. Therefore, be it further resolved, the ASUCR president authored a letter to Chancellor Wilcox that all formal investment, banking, and/or financial relationships and contracts held by the ASUCR and UC Riverside, its pension funds and subsidiary or related organizations should mirror the university's commitment to its students and surrounding community, and thus be disinvested from any institution currently profiting from the prison industrial complex, redirected and invested in companies and institutions with morally sound practices. Therefore, be it further resolved, the ASUCR president issue a similar recommendation to the UC Regents and UC President Janet Napolitano, urging the University of California system's finances be disinvested from institutions profiting from the PIC, redirected and reinvested in companies and institutions that practice the aforementioned morally sound practices. Therefore, be it further resolved that we call upon our university, the University of California Treasury, the UC Regents, and the UC Riverside Foundation to divest their holdings from each of the aforementioned companies as determined by fund fiduciaries within their discretion. That we, the students, urge the UC Riverside Foundation to explore its investments and to utilize socially responsible corporations with the goal of restricting the use of companies that profit from the prison industrial complex. Therefore, be it further resolved that if it is found that UC Riverside funds or UC funds are being invested in any of the aforementioned companies, UC Riverside will divest, as soon as feasible, as determined by fund fiduciaries within their discretion. Moreover, UC Riverside will not make further investments in any companies materially supporting or profiting from the prison industrial complex in the above-mentioned ways. Therefore, be it further resolved that the ASUCR External Vice President issue a formal proposal to UCSA in support of all UC students moving their money out of companies currently participating in the prison industrial complex. Therefore, let it be finally resolved, the ASUCR reassert our commitment to fairness, equity, and equality by investing solely in companies that provide moral and fair services and products.
Thank you.
So actually, given that, now that we've all seen it, I'd actually like to move to table this until next week so that corrections can be made. Okay. For that, I would move that this be tabled until the next meeting in order to make any necessary changes.
Before we move on, apologize. Is there a motion to table this item to next week? Sorry, is there a second to this motion? Second. There's a second. Yes, is there any discussion or objection to this item? Yes.
Just for clarification, it's because the document we currently have is not the most updated one, right?
Correct.
But the content and everything will be fine?
The content and everything shouldn't change. There will be some of the whereases I combined, and there was a few wording changes, so I will make sure to highlight those when we come back. But for the most part, this is going to be the document that is voted on.
Since we are sending it back, unless, if there are any suggestions you'd like to make when we send it back, this would be the time to speak. Senator.
It's not a suggestion, more of a question. Oh wait, it is a question. But hypothetically speaking, how would this affect like the cost of?
Yes, please, you wish to address it.
You look excited. You want to.
It's not gonna cost us anything.
Oh no, but I mean, okay, never mind.
Okay, well, I think
One at a time then, please. We'll go, the Vice President will finish his comment, then the external, then the Vice President for 10-4.
Could you actually repeat your question?
I don't know how to put it into words, but how would it cost the college experience, I guess, on like a student?
It's not going to make any difference to a student, but
Like switching to different company?
it wouldn't make any differences. It just would mean that UCR would stop investing in prisons companies that profit from
But
prisons.
I thought I said that we were going to disinvest.
Yeah, it's going to stop investing in companies that profit from prisons. And so meaning that UCR will not be profiting money from companies that profit from prisons. Does that make sense? But it's not going to affect a regular student.
Okay, let's get some different opinions.
Yeah, I guess to add on more to your question, like how does it affect the university's money? The university or California has a general fund that they collect tuition and fees and everything else with, and they have a separate fund that they use for investments. That fund for investments is the one that they use to grow. So, and that fund doesn't come from students. Does that make sense? It's just like the money that they make, and so it affects the amount of money that they make. It wouldn't necessarily affect the cost of the UC, so our cost of the UC wouldn't go down or anything like that. And then in terms of the experience of the UC, I'm sure like this goes a long way towards fighting against the school to prison pipeline and disinvesting in the school to prison pipeline would like alter the experience for a number of people of color in the UC. And so in terms of concrete changes, I guess nothing immediately, but it does raise the question, if we're not investing there, where are we going to be investing? So maybe adding to the resolution something about investing in, I guess, anti-school to prison pipeline companies, or just looking for green companies or anything like that. Maybe that's something we could look at for adding on to the resolution.
Yes, in comment with the President for 10-4.
Oh yeah, just I guess that was pretty much explained it. But in terms of investment, just understanding that it's only moving the money for investment. So as he mentioned, it's a separate fund for investment. So we would just be looking to invest that into, as it mentions in here, more morally sound companies. So it wouldn't affect students in any way whatsoever, except for I guess having the peace of mind that we're less complicit in the prison industrial complex. But in terms of direct interference of students, the money will not affect at all. And actually, that would be good. I think we could specify what companies we'd like to be on. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments or suggestions for the author?
Maybe adding some language that'll ensure that tuition isn't affected.
Okay, comments well taken. Is there any other suggestions or comments? Yes.
I don't know if it would be worth mentioning, but you could definitely put in that the number of UCs and Cal States added together is equal to the number of California prisons. 33. They could do that.
Your point is very well taken.
You can just put you as well.
Any other comments? Yes, Vice President.
1 minute.
Yeah, this resolution will not negatively affect students. Like, not close.
Thank you. Any comments or questions for the author of the resolution? Okay, then we will, there's a motion on the table to table this item until the next meeting. There was a second. We have heard discussion and debate. We will move this to a vote as voting is fine. Pardon me? There was a motion, there was a second. Did I miss anything? No. Perfect. Any debate, discussion, we'll call this to a vote. All in favor? All opposed? Any abstain? The vote is 15-0-0. And this motion is, this item is tabled till next meeting. Moving on to the Finance Committee. Before we address the Finance Committee report, like to remind the senators in the agenda packet that was sent out earlier this week on Monday. That includes a copy of the items sent to here at this board. So the finance report you'll be seeing right now, as well as the LRC proposal we just heard, is in your email. Yes. Thank you.
Does everyone have my report?
And your emails? Vice President, you have the floor.
Thank you, Winnie, for explaining your involvement with our year. I'm not going to repeat everything. So, and also thank you, Alan, for explaining the policy workshop. So I will not, like I said, will not go over those again. I'm just gonna give you a report of my finance hearing. So our club opening balance was $46,049. Our first club, Future Business Leaders of America, were allocated $184. Our next club, Chemistry Club, were allocated $90. Future Fields were allocated $176. Association of Computing Machinery were allocated $100. Running Club were allocated $998. Riverside Democracy Club were allocated $908. Engineering Without Borders were allocated $998. Students for Education Reform were allocated $750. Material Research Society were allocated $908. Rugby Club were allocated $998. Not So Sharp were allocated $908. Footprints did not show, so they were tabled. SSA were allocated $1,208. Charlotte Booth were allocated $750. So our total org allocation were $8,000, $976. Our closing balance was $37,073. Our ASUCR opening balance was $17,000, $620.12. We allocated $130 for the art closet. Our total ASUCR allocation was $130, and our closing balance was $17,000, $490.12. I motion to approve my.
What?
Yes.
Okay. What's quorum for finance? Because I see there's only 4 that are approving these. Is that enough to?
Yeah, our quorum is 4, and yeah, our quorum is 4. Well, I was in the meeting too, but I usually abstain.
Point of information. So I understand the chair abstains on most of them. Can you explain the 4 ones just for clarification?
Oh, those at that point we didn't have more than 4 because people had been terms that couldn't do that.
Okay, no, I mean the abstention difference, because a lot of them are 401, they're usually something 01, and then a couple are so I'm not sure if it's
at that point, we only had 4 people.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we added 5.
Okay.
Yeah, then at that point I abstained.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you at least have to have 4 people approving the budget, or else it wouldn't be approved.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments for this item? All right, there was the Vice President moved to approve this budget proposal. Is there a second to the motion? There's a second from Senator Vargas. Since this is a financial matter, we will move this to a vote. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstain? And the vote is 15-0-0. The item or the motion passes. Moving on to the next item on the agenda to public comment. Is there any members of the public who wish to address the board on anything that transpired at this meeting today? Seeing no one that wants to talk to us, we will move forward to roundtable announcements. We will start at Heather.
Pass. Okay, so Alpha and Omega is having their Walk a Mile event that is happening on Tuesday. So you guys should come out and support it.
I just wanted to wish everybody good luck on their midterms and keep studying hard and do well in school.
Thank you, Josh.
Okay, so Delta Gamma is having a fundraiser tomorrow for their philanthropy service for sight. It'll be at Boba Tea House, and it'll be from 6 to 9 p.m. And you do not need a flyer; you just have to inform the staff that you're there to support them. Sigma Kappa is also having a canned food drive this week, collecting any non-perishables up until Friday, and they will be lettering all for the rest of this week. Sigma Phi Epsilon is also collecting toys for the toy drive for ABC Step Bus. You can bring a toy and drop it off at the FSIC, and they are collecting until Friday. And Highlander Food Corner is having an event, and it'll be Monday, November 9th at 4 p.m. in Hub 379, and they'll be talking about resources that you can get on and off campus for food security, like How Fresh and the Art Pantry and stuff like that. So, fun stuff. That's all.
Thank you.
Pass.
So as was previously mentioned, starting tomorrow and running through next week, we'll be having teach-ins for the Million Student March. The march itself is next week on Thursday, November 12th. We'll be giving you all more information as we finish planning and get everything figured out. Tomorrow also, the Global Issues Forum will be having our inaugural event comparing immigration policy in the US and in Europe. So, yeah, slide through.
Hi everyone. So this message is for ECAB. So it's about office hour accountability, so this is for directors and ECAB members. There will be a sign-in sheet at the front desk starting tomorrow to hold all ECAB members accountable to attending every one of their office hours that are on the website. Stipends will not be approved if you continuously don't come to your office hours. The reason I'm doing this is because looking at the office hour schedule, I know that there's certainly a large amount of senators who haven't been coming to their office hours, and Taylor will talk about the senators, but I just want to make sure that I'm holding ECAB and directors accountable and myself accountable to the office hours, and Taylor will talk about the Senate, the senators being held accountable to office hours.
Cool. Okay. As the president was talking about tomorrow, starting tomorrow, we will be instigating a sign-in policy for primarily during office hours to make sure everyone is fulfilling their duties as we all agreed to in the governing documents as well as when we ran. Our office hours are public info. Anytime a student expects us to be there to talk about any issue whatsoever, that's when we promise to be there. If your office hours you can't make because a new commitment, you're more than welcome to change them, but we are holding you all accountable to your office hours. It'll be really simple. There's a sign-in sheet at the front of the desk on the days where, especially where you'd agree to be in the office for office hours, sign in, sign out. And if you do not, we'll be holding you accountable through your stipends. Other than that, and it's something I think we should all be holding each other accountable to, so if you see each other in the office, remind each other. I know it's a new policy, I'll make sure to remind all of you. Other than that, again, I'm hosting one-on-ones for the next 2 weeks. I sent out an email on the group me as well as an email. Just simply fill out the doodle poll. If none of the times on the doodle poll work, just tell me and we'll find a time that works for both of us. And that will include my report.
I was gonna say, Million Student March, as Corey mentioned, teach-ins will begin tomorrow. Please, every member of this horseshoe, attend at least one teach-in. We have teach-ins tomorrow at 3 p.m., Monday at 2 p.m., Tuesday at 3 p.m., and Wednesday is a holiday, it's Veterans Day, but we'll still be having a teach-in in the dorms. So please, you all are more than welcome to attend one of these. The action itself will be on Thursday. We're going to be, from the preliminary planning session, just to give you all a heads up of the action, Million Student March is going to be November 12th, next Thursday. The three demands are: one, free education, as in like free tuition for all public like education and higher education. The second demand is cancellation of all existing student debt, and the third demand is $15 an hour minimum wage for all students, regardless of whether or not they work 20 hours. So those three demands are very crucial. This is the biggest, on paper, one of the largest movements. There's over 150 universities that are participating. So this is going to be historic. So it's not something that you want to miss out on. Please attend one of the teach-ins. And then lastly, the accountability thing in office hours are going to be pretty cool. It's kind of like we to clock in and clock out. Are you all going to be institutionalizing that? I would recommend making it a bylaw for future presidents and future EVPs to, like, on paper, hold people accountable. Good idea. Thank you so much. And that'll be all.
Hi everybody. My community service organization, Rotaract at UCR, is going to be having some community service events. So we have Operation Safe House on November 6th, and that one's going to be from 7 to 9 p.m. We also have Keep Riverside Clean and Beautiful, and that'll be November 7th from 8 to 11 a.m. And we also have another Heal the Bay, so another beach cleanup coming up, and that's November 21st, I believe, and that's going to be at Playa del Rey in Los Angeles. So if anyone is interested, please let me know and I'll give you more information. Thank you.
Rhythm and Brains, which is a music performance and community service group on campus, will be having a general meeting tomorrow at MSC 113, 6 to 8 p.m. I will be performing at this event. I'm only singing one song, but I'm also going to be giving a speech about inspiration and what inspires me to be singing today. You're welcome to come hang out with us, and we always have a jam session at the end, so it's kind of fun. Yeah. It's 6 to 8 p.m. MSC 113.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
The UCR rugby team will be playing this Saturday, November 7th at 1 p.m. It's at the UCR Sports Complex, the Lot 26 area. So be sure to come out and support. They're a very good team.
So just two announcements. First, this is on behalf of our Vice President of Internal Affairs, Michael Irvin, and the Food Security Committee. So yesterday was the preview of the Our Pantry, and we were really excited. We want to thank everyone who helped volunteer and help set it up. It was impossible to do without you, so thank you so much for that. And we've already received 40% of the surveys back from the participants who came out yesterday, and that's within the first 24 hours. So I just like to share a couple of them with everyone here today. So the Art Pantry preview was a success. Everyone was very friendly and helpful. The selection of food was good, and the amount I was able to get was great. Keep up the great work. Seriously made my day. I couldn't believe we were able to take so much food. This was amazing for me. It was amazing. I'm overwhelmingly happy that it exists. Thanks to all the organizations who made it possible. And this is the last one. Our pantry is awesome. Receiving the items I did are definitely making a huge difference in my week. I got really sick on Sunday, so I spent some money on medications. And now with the free food supply, I will be okay for a week of recovery from my health. I'm thankful because I live on my own, and it's not easy having to budget rent, bills, and food on a 13-hour a week of minimum wage. Thank you, UCR. So that is on behalf of the Food Security Committee and Vice President of Internal Affairs. And we're just really excited for the food pantry and to see where it goes as it continues to get bigger, and to hopefully reach out towards all of the students at UCR who definitely need who need the support of this program. And for the other announcement, my fraternity Phi Delta Epsilon, our Epsilon class is hosting a philanthropy for the Children's Miracle Network. And just a little summary bit about the Children's Miracle Network. They essentially pay for treatment of children, so that way families don't have to live with that burden. And they do this, basically they provide millions of dollars in treatment every year so that families don't have to worry about that financial burden. And basically, the class is going to be doing a raffle, and some prizes include Amazon gift cards and Disneyland tickets. So hopefully, we'll see that happening. And then if they make $750, they get to shave my head, and that hair will also be donated to children. So hopefully that.
Free to contact the courier myself, and we will be more than welcome to your ideas. So yeah, I just want to let that be known. We ratify resolutions, but we're not the only ones capable of writing.
Cool. Thank you. I'd also real quickly like to clarify on the sign-in policy for office hours. If any of the senators on the board can't make their office hours because they're sick or whatsoever, just contact the front desk, specifically the front desk, because they'll be right next to the sign-in sheet. Other than that, Cool. Other than that, we do have an executive session right after this. I would like to move to recess until 7:30. Is there 7:15? Pardon me, can
Wait, do we adjourn the meeting?
We're not adjourning the meeting because we're in executive session. So I'm asking for a motion to recess.
Yeah.
So you adjourn the meeting? Okay, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting then?
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
There's a motion to adjourn the meeting, there's a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, this meeting will be adjourned at 7:15.
Executive session at 7:30, please don't be late. I'm gonna run away.
You get my. Just for that?